NC Pork, raising the bacon, raising the bar.
What about this Sunshine State Showdown? Another one for Miami, now number 4 in the AP poll this week. The Hurricanes 3-0 after that win over South Florida last week. They're hosting 1-2 Florida. The Gators did not look good in their loss to LSU last week. This is a 7:30 Saturday night game on ABC. The Hurricanes, a 7-point home favorite over the Gators at Hard Rock Stadium.
Yeah, there is an absolutely wild set of circumstances surrounding this Florida-Miami game, which was played, by the way, every single year for decades, but not nearly as often since the mid-1980s, right around the same time that Miami went from a no-name football program to one that won 4 national championships in a 9-year period. First under Howard Schnellenberger in 1983, then under Jimmy Johnson in 1987, then 2 more under Dennis Erickson. Since 1987, so that's almost 40 years ago now, the Gators and the Hurricanes have played only 8 times. Miami has won 6 of those 8, including last year in Gainesville, which was the first time Florida coach Billy Napier and the Canes head coach Mario Cristobal went head-to-head in this rivalry. Although Florida is a 3-time national championship program, once under Steve Spurrier, twice under Urban Meyer, the Gators have not been great very often since Urban Meyer stepped away from that job 15 years ago now. Similarly, although Miami is a 5-time national championship program, most recently under Larry Coker in 2001, the Canes have not been great very often since they joined the ACC in 2004. The expectations are high for every coach almost every year at these 2 schools, and both Napier and Cristobal are in their 4th season. Both coaches have had mediocre results so far, with one exception. Cristobal, as we talked about all last season, broke through last year thanks largely to the sensational quarterback Cam Ward, now starting for the NFL's Tennessee Titans. Ward led the Canes to a 10-3 campaign a year ago. Billy Napier, on the other hand, has not broken through with a big season yet for the Gators, and many consider him on the hot seat after his 1-2 start this year. Beyond the hot seat conversation that surrounds Napier, there is another circus-like sideshow around Florida's quarterback, DJ Lagway, who threw 5 interceptions, including a back-breaking pick 6, in last week's 20-10 loss at number 3 LSU. The Gators also struggled offensively in their 18-16 home loss to South Florida, a team, remember, that Miami just murdered 49-12. Lagway was the 2023 National High School Player of the Year, and last year he went 6-1 as the Gators starter as a true freshman, but he's now playing at almost 250 pounds. He's not much of a running threat, which he was in high school, and he's made a bunch of really bad decisions under pressure. Meanwhile, there's talk in Gainesville that, like at Maryland last year, that many Florida players are not fully behind Lagway, who got a huge revenue-sharing deal in the offseason that may be impacting the team's locker room chemistry. Miami, on the other hand, has looked like a much more well-rounded team than it was, even during last year's 10-3 campaign, when Ward often had to save the day with, some fireworks and some high-scoring shootouts. This team already has defeated 2 ranked opponents, Notre Dame and South Florida, while giving up only 13 points per game during its 3-0 start. They were not capable of that last year. The Georgia transfer, Carson Beck, has been the opposite for the Canes of what Lagway has been for the Gators. Beck has been an accurate thrower, a reliable decision maker, a low-key personality, a strong leader, a productive passer. Florida actually does have a very talented defense. So there's going to be plenty of NFL caliber talent on the field for both sides when the Canes have the ball. But the mood's going to be much different when the Gators have the ball, and Billy Napier and Lagway, that combination is back under what is a really, really hot heat lamp right now.
Florida and Miami, guys. You both have been Gators. You both don't like Miami, so this ought to be a lot of fun for you guys to watch. That's the 7:30 game on Saturday night. Both of you, give me a great Florida-Miami story. It could be from off the field or on the field, but what are your best memories of the University of Florida and the University of Miami going at it on the football gridiron?
I was part of it at Florida State and Miami, and that was obviously a huge rivalry. And then with the Gators, I'm going to tell you what, this is an extremely, extremely important game for the Gators. I think that coming off the 20-10 loss to LSU last week really puts Billy Napier in a precarious situation. And now he's got a really good Miami football team. I'm just going to tell you what now, that's going to present a tremendous challenge to Coach Napier and the Florida team. And I'm going to tell you what now, Mario Cristobal is going to have those guys lit and ready to roll. They have a highly acclaimed quarterback at Florida who they need to play well to have any chance. Okay. Jim just said they're going to play 6 ranked opponents in a row coming up. Okay. If that kid throws 5 picks, okay, like he did again on the road against LSU, I mean, holy cow, they got zero chance. They got zero chance. And so I think right now this thing is accumulated on Billy a bunch. And I'm not so sure. I don't think that there's a whole lot of patience there for where he's at right now in this process at Florida.
There is no patience in the Gator faithful now. They want results. And results have not been what they expect at this point in time. Whether Scott Strickland yields to the pressure of the fans and the boosters and the people that are giving lots of money or not is yet to be seen, because Scott Strickland just got a new contract. He's pretty settled that he's going to be at the University of Florida for a long, long time. So whether he yields to that pressure or not this early in the season, I don't know. But I will say this, if it continues to go the way it's going at this point in time, it will be hard for Billy to hang on.
You've both been assistant coaches. Brew, you've been a head coach. How do head coaches' personalities change when they're going through that type of external consternation and pressure?
Insecurity is a disease in our profession that runs rampant. Okay. If you got to feel good about yourself and feel good about what you're doing as a head football coach, and you've got to put your blinders on, and you can't be hearing the noise. You got to eliminate the noise, the outside noise, because I'm going to tell you what, at a place like Florida right now, Billy, holy cow. I'm going to promise you, Jim will tell you, it's Dan Mullen won 10 games in a row, 3 years in a row. Okay. And then in year 4 wins 6 and gets fired.
Well, let me give you these stats, okay? And it's interesting. I just pulled this up.
Yep.
In the first 40 games of their coaching careers at the University of Florida, Dan Mullen was 31-9. Will Muschamp was 24-16. Urban Meyer was 31-9. Jim McElwain did not make it to game 40. He was 22-12. Billy Napier is 20-20. So what do you think is going to happen? There's no. If I were, he's dead man walking, unless they can turn it around right now and go down and beat Miami this weekend, and then he has no chance to survive. Because his buyout for a place like Florida, I think his buyout's only like $19 million. Now I know $19 million is a lot of money, but for a place like that, $19 million is they can handle that.
This has been Bold North State Football Daily, an exclusive presentation of the North Carolina Sports Network. Make sure you follow us on social media at the NC Sports Net. And check out our website that is wall-to-wall coverage of North Carolina sports at ncsportsnetwork.com. Our foundational partner is the North Carolina Port Council, raising the bacon, raising the bar. Telling the stories of the bold North State, this is the North Carolina Sports Network.